You are an awful boyfriend.
You are a terrible person.
Hello friends and welcome back to ReddX, your source for the freshest daily cringe content anywhere on the internet. Promise swearsies, it's just a fact, and it's totally science. Go ahead and look it up. Today we're diving into r/Tales of Neckbeards or Neckbeard stories, or actually it's from my personal subreddit, r/ReddX reads. Yes indeed, we're getting back into it as you probably already knew. This is the continuation of the STRATBEARD saga, which is a pretty interesting saga because we're getting it from 2 points of view. We've got OP, who's kind of the third wheel in this relationship between Apple and STRATBEARD, and then we get it straight from Apple's mouth as she's dealing with the beard. It's interesting. Today is an entry from Blue, who is the third wheel, but she spent some time with the beard, away from Apple, driving to D&D and stuff like that. And as long as she didn't blow him in the car or something, I guess I won't be too upset about the situation. Dude just dumps all of his relationship woes onto this woman who isn't really even in the relationship, which obviously makes things a little bit awkward for everybody, but I don't think beards have the self-awareness to be like, maybe I shouldn't do that. I guess we'll see how much cringe we can derive from our tale today. We'll do the thing, get some plugs and disclaimers out of the way, and then we will dive right into some neckbeard cringe. STRATBEARD, the D&D Chronicles. Oh boy, why's he gotta give D&D a bad name? Welcome back, dear friends. It is Blue again, back to give you a little bit more of that STRATBEARD saga. It's been rolling pretty smoothly so far, so let's hope that I can keep this up. Yeah, we had kind of a bumpy start. I slammed OP pretty hard, but she took it with a grain of salt. Her and Apple both just rolling with the punches, and I do appreciate it. I haven't had to snap at you in the subsequent entries, so let's hope we can keep the streak going today. This might be a relatively short one, as it takes place during the events of Apple's last entry. Here we go! The characters first, though. Blue, big dumb white girl, pretty average, D&D nerd, Godzilla fangirl. Uh-oh, we gonna introduce you to kaiju beers. We also got Apple, who is Strat's girlfriend, little Filipina with a people-pleaser attitude and a baby face. And then we got the beard, Strat, a musty, overweight man with a white savior complex and a whiny bitch attitude. I'm not going to say those things 100% go hand in hand, but they kind of do, though. Strat's D&D group is part of this, but I will describe them as it becomes relevant. And so let's get going then. So this story takes place as the events from the last one were happening. Ooh, simultaneous. It starts a little before the semester ended. Strat had been inviting me to his D&D games, but I would just be so swamped with work and school that I was usually unable to go with him and Apple to said games. But as soon as the semester ended, I was finally able to go with them on a trip, which I was super excited about. Strat had been talking to me about his group, and I knew the general idea about the campaign. It was made up of 7 players from Strat's friend group, all the way in Poway. 7 players, bro? That's a lot for a DM to handle, man. Also, Poway's pretty ritzy. I think I have an aunt that lives there or something. It would be held in his friend Godzuki's parents' house, and usually started at 7 p.m. and ran all the way up until like 2 or 3 a.m. He was playing a rat folk, who I think later got replaced with a changeling, disguised as the original rat party member. Yeah, but that's unimportant. Who was the rat folk, Godzuki or STRATBEARD? Because STRATBEARD seems like a rat folk IRL, so maybe it just wasn't fun for him to roleplay something that was so close to what he actually is. It's nice that the Dungeon Master gave him the change up, though. So, for first impressions, I decided to whip up some cookies from scratch, like I tend to do for potential friends. Ah, how to win friends and influence people. I also decided to wear my new Mass Effect shirt and some basketball shorts as usual, so that I could be cozy, seeing as it would be late when the session would finally end. I would want to sleep as soon as I got home. Strat and Apple picked me up at the house, and I shared with them my previous experiences playing D&D as a Kenku bard. That sounds difficult. Getting some laughs out of Apple as I demonstrated how my Raven Man would scream at his fellow adventurers. Kenku, if you don't know, are like bird people, and they can only mimic things that they've heard before, which means they can't write original bard songs, which is why I said it would be difficult. But then the horny Strat interrupted this conversation.
Hey,
What's up?
you two haven't kissed yet, have you?
Oh, God. Here we go. What does that have to do with what I was talking about? No.
You two should. We have plenty of time.
He smirked. So uncomfortable. For context, Apple and I were in the back seat together and had now looked to each other. I did desperately want to kiss her, but this felt wrong. Apple, I won't kiss you unless you want me to, I said in a worried tone, to which she shrugged and nodded. I'm fine with it. You sure? Yeah. I sigh and glance at Strat's practically drooling self in the rearview mirror and lean in to peck Apple on the lips and then smile contentedly.
Come on. You can do better than that.
Sneers STRATBEARD. Yes, I can, but not in front of you, creepo. To which I shake my head and continue to talk with her about D&D and other random stuff until we get to the house, which is really nice. Like I said, Poway's ritzy. Damn, we got a rich boy on our hands here. I'm excited to go inside and meet everyone, seeing as it is now close to the start of the session, so everyone should be here already. We help Strat get all his D&D stuff from the car and get my cookies, and we quickly head inside. There is a lot going on inside. People are already rushing about, setting up snacks and drinks, and getting the table and their little mini figurines set up. The first people who run up are the two girls in the session, who happily hug Strat and Apple. Let's call them Wiccan and Tiny. Wiccan is a pretty slender and tall lady who likes witchy stuff, and usually likes being the center of attention. I'm not going to say those two things go hand in hand. She's also dating the dungeon master. Tiny was, as I said, a tiny woman who looked so damn close to being a freshman in high school, but she was actually in college towards the middle of her 4-year term. They ecstatically talked to Apple, and I managed to squeeze in an introduction and go to meet the rest of the group. The only other important folk really are Godzuki, who's a pretty chill guy who dabbled in Godzilla and joked with me during and after the session, and Best Bro, STRATBEARD's best friend, an amazing guy who stood up for everybody that he was friends with, but also took no shit when it mattered. I'm gonna give everybody involved in this group the benefit of the doubt, but in the back of my head, the alarm is screaming birds of a feather, okay? If they're hanging out with this dude, there's no telling what kind of creepy shit they're into. Just stay on your guard. That's all I'm saying. Best Bro was dating Tiny, and this is where some complications began. As the session went on, Apple and I would periodically go to the other room to nap because it was late and we still had work. And Strat would text me talking about Tiny and showing me pictures of her drunkenly taking her shirt off to reveal a sports bra underneath. Creeping on his best bro's chick? God damn, I hate STRATBEARD on so many levels. When Tiny was drunk, it apparently made her really uncomfortable to wear the shirt, and she was sweaty, so she took it off. But she didn't expect anyone from the group to take advantage of that and creep on her for just seeing a little bit of her stomach skin.
Stomach skin.
God, that level of creepiness turns my stomach. Speaking of, Strat would also take pics of Wiccan's cleavage and butt when she turned around. Jesus. He would exclaim to me,
how much he wanted me to get with Tiny, and then use me as a way to get with her.
I would obviously refuse that adamantly, knowing that Best Bro was probably not going to be okay with that. Just, he's not fit for this planet, okay? Put him against the fucking wall. He's never gonna change. That's it. I'm done. This is why we can't have nice things. All of this is why we can't fucking have nice things. Obviously, he didn't talk to Best Bro about his idea before asking me, but yeah, that was his plan. See, because if I would act on it first, then he could get his kicks in and be completely blameless and just pin it on me. Well, his plan faltered because I just barely met this girl. We don't even know each other. And she's also dating someone who was definitely not in an open relationship. But sooner or later, the whole session was over, and me and Apple piled into the back seats of STRATBEARD's car. Well, that was relatively quick. I won't say that it was painless. It pained me a great deal, but okay, at least the session's over. We can all fucking go home now. Apple and I were getting all touchy due to being tired, and Strat asked us
if we wanted to take a detour so we could hook up.
I was obviously very unhappy about this. It was fucking late. I was tired. And all of his conversations with me ended up leaving me uncomfortable. I scowled at him through the mirror before cuddling back up to Apple. But he decided to take the detour anyways.
I'm not gonna take us back until you two break the obvious ice between you.
To which we had then reluctantly had light, intimate actions between us. This is so awkward. While Strat watched from the mirror. Oh my god, dude. I can't. The cringe levels are getting too much. Oh, shit. He also had his hand in his pants as he got off to our reluctant loving. Oh, there it is. The cringe meter is broken. That is what sent it over the top. Jesus Christ. Eventually, we both backed off, too flustered to continue, and he, thank God, drove us home, dropping me off first, but that was not the last of these little encounters. What do we call these little encounters? Like sexual kidnapping encounters? Forced mutual masturbation encounters? God damn, dude. This is horrible. As the D&D sessions went on, Strat would be driving me home and would complain about Apple when she wouldn't come with.
I like you so much more. She would just fall asleep in the car and leave me all alone. She's such a bitch, too. I'm obviously horny and, asking her to blow me, and she'll always refuse and tell me that she doesn't want to. So I have to beg her to whisper stories to me just so I can get off. It's such a pain in the ass.
Obviously, you do not have libido that is on the same level. God forbid she have her own fucking self-determination. Yeah, sometimes your girlfriend don't want to blow you. Let me ask you this. How many times have you gone down on her? Or is she into that? I'm just saying, it's a two-way street, and STRATBEARD don't seem much like a two-way street kind of guy, right? $10 says that is one of the reasons that she is so reluctant. And also probably because his balls stink. Or when he had nothing to say, STRATBEARD would try to make me watch the whole 2 hours of Into the Woods intro with him until we got back. But he would get mad at me if I got bored or even checked my phone once. Ugh. I find watching plays boring as hell. I enjoy listening, but watching them makes me restless. And then, when I went to Apple about these complaints, STRATBEARD would then come at me, accusing me of being a bad friend. Dude, you are an awful boyfriend. I think the awfulest boyfriend. Even I can see how fucking terrible of a person you are. So by this point, I only stuck around Strat so that I could warn Apple. But if I ever called it off with STRATBEARD and only hung out with Apple, he promised that
I would have no chance of ever being as close to Apple as we were now.
he would make it so I would never do anything with Apple ever again, which honestly terrified me because he could easily accuse me of doing something awful to her, and I would lose my best friend and crush just because I didn't want to fuck this neckbeard. So you were still blowing him? Jesus Christ. I probably should have guessed as much, but goddamn, I can't save you from yourself, OP, all right? Help me to help you. You know what I'm saying? Christ. But as sessions passed and the holidays were over, me and Godzuki wanted to set up a Godzilla marathon with me and him and Apple and Strat. We only did one session due to the fact that Strat, I believe, thought I was having too much fun with Godzuki. Jealous bitch. We actually enjoyed these movies and would playfully smack talk on the old shitty costumes and special effects, and
his alphaness was being challenged.
So in response to that, he never took me to watch anything else with Godzuki ever again, unless it was for D&D, also that STRATBEARD could stay being the center of attention. I want to say that it's pathetic, but my response to things being pathetic isn't usually to punch them. And STRATBEARD is just so punchable. Anywho, a lot more time passes, and I'm at work one day, cleaning oil up off the ground at a car wash, and I get a ping on my phone from Apple. Bing! Weird. She's usually driving to work right now. So I look at it in one of the camera's blind spots, and all I see is, I think I fucked up. What? What does that mean? Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Forget it. Forget it, my ass. No, seriously. I gotta go on a date with Strat. Talk to you later. The fuck did she do? Is she getting kicked out? Did she lose her job? I'm so lost, but I'm at work still, so I decide to text my friend Coder, a mutual friend of ours, and ask him what he thinks happened.
Maybe they finally broke up.
Come on, man. You know that wouldn't happen. Apple is way too good for Strat, and he knows it. They work everything out.
Maybe. That's best case scenario, though.
To which I just shrug and continue through my shift, trying to finish all the tasks around the wash before 7 p.m. Apple doesn't text me until I get out of work, which I thank her for because I could not deal with the stress of not knowing what we were talking about anymore. We broke up. Shit. What? How? He took me to Applebee's and broke up with me. Actually, to be factually accurate, Apple, you took him to Applebee's, all right? You was the one paying, if I recall correctly. This is not a sad moment. We should be throwing a party. You just freed yourself of this fucking loser. Congratulations. But Blue says, oh my God, that's so fucking awful. Apple says, I'm at your house, by the way. Can you let me in? To which I hurry my ass up and walk home from work to comfort her, taking the night to watch Barbie movies with her and eat junk comfort food all night as we just talk things out. I can now also finally unload all the venom I had towards this man on her. Talk about his grotesque fantasies that he shared with me. Oh God. Gore, cub, water sports, the whole 9 yards. Jesus. If he wasn't going against the wall before, let me tell you, he's gotta go now. A literal horny horror show, to which she apparently already knew, but she just told me that she had no idea what to do about it. I had considered reporting him to the police, but that always brought other problems that stopped me. Collateral damage, you know? His mom was the head of the county's school district's special ed department, And his father was an ex-teacher at a Christian high school. Collateral damaged them all, although I know Apple likes the parents, but fuck it. Firebomb them! They need to know too. You can continue on after this, you just have to disown your son, as you definitely would do if you knew all the shit that he was up to. Anyways, his sisters were also both in the teaching field, and his brother had a normal life with his wife and kid. If it was brought to light that they had a predator in their midst, it could ruin their whole careers and their livelihood. Yeah, goddamn, I guess OP's right on this one. My first instinct is slash and burn, but you don't necessarily want to shit on everybody, especially when they've been kind to you, you know what I mean? I don't know how he became this way when his family is so seemingly nice and normal, but I guess that's a mystery for another day. His mother might be asked to step down from a position that she had worked for years to get into, or his sisters would have to find work out of the school district, no matter how good they were at teaching. It was just such a high risk that I always bitched out. But after this night of me and Apple relaxing, a whole ton of shit broke loose. Oh, snap. Stay tuned for the next part. Ah, cliffhanger! Sorry, this one reads kind of weird. I don't remember much of the D&D sessions or what STRATBEARD said. That might be for the best, honestly. God, man, it is just such a difficult one because you do want to see STRATBEARD brought to some sort of justice, you know? But firebombing the entire family, yeah, okay, OP's right. It's probably not the correct answer. The correct answer is probably also not drugging STRATBEARD and leaving him somewhere or something, like what happened in the StealthBeard saga yesterday. I think more and more I learn from these Neckbeard stories that the world isn't just black and white. It's easy for me to sit behind a microphone and be like, this person's right, this person's wrong, but I know there are always going to be other people out there that see it a different way, which is a good thing. You know, I'm not looking for sycophants. I'm looking for critical thinkers who reply in the comments and tell me sometimes that, hey, ReddX, I think of this story or situation a little bit differently than you do, and explain their positioning. And sometimes I'll read a comment and be like, actually, yeah, that makes a lot more sense than what I said. None of us are infallible, and that includes the OP of this story, the OP of StealthBeard, myself. Like I think I mentioned before, everybody is out here just doing the best that we can, you know? I am very curious about what the fallout is going to be from all of this. I'm on the edge of my seat, quite literally waiting for the next STRATBEARD entry. There's a killer cliffhanger, but all right. When it comes, I will be there. And I hope that you guys will be there with me. If you did enjoy this episode, I hope you'll like, comment, and or subscribe. Yes, indeed. Maybe share it around if you should like. That's a pretty cool thing to do too. We got all kinds of plugs and playlists and links in the description, including my social medias, Twitter, Discord, Facebook. Hey, come on through. Say hey to me. I appreciate that too. We've also got my Patreon and my gorgeous, wonderful, beautiful, generous patrons. I'd like to thank them as I do every episode. So thank you very much. Calvicus, Fatboy Shrimp, Robert Waits, TSM Kirby, Aaron W, Twisted Child, Delicious Jelly Donut, Candy Sora, Fire Drake, Livison, Mr. Anime Manga Fan, Silent Revolver, Zero MMX, Magdala Marshall Thornrose, Cherish Kitsune, Little Lone Wolf, Vanilla Mel, Ralph Stour, Satori, Babsy-kun, Caustic Fox, Disposable Waifu, Aaron Lennox, Fisher Diggy, Hadrian BR, Heathcliff, OG James Cook, a pimp named J Crisp, JM Kun, Jerry, John Hero, Miss Monday, Lord Lion-O, Jackets Rule, Melgar the Destroyer, Mirthful Baker, Mr. J, my boy Nat One Nick, Lady Nix, Origami Steve, Katykins Elizabeth, Sidestep, Cider Drinker, Serrated Ash, Siegfried, Synaptic Boomstick, Brilliant Tamago, Tato Ferret, Teddy the Police, 10-Ton Monster, That Duck and Bug, The One True Fusky, Treeberg, Wilmax, Redwind, Goose Says Honk, Leon Embers, Naga Viper, Saints Blessing, John Indoors, A Normal Joe, Amara, A Roxers, Cake Jerry, that's a different Jerry! California Keto Girl, Cinnamon Bunny Dog, KJW, Kajow, Crafty Kitty Cat, Little Ann Woods, Mark 211, Maybe Next Time, Milk-Fed Gimp, Miss Duchess, Origami Cam, Princess Rosalie, Ghosty, Raptor Art, Ellie, The Last Shinobi, and the Neck Row Bomacon. Thank you guys all very much for supporting the channel in the way that you do. I hope some other people will consider signing up on the Patreon, but if you can't do it right now monetarily, don't sweat it too hard, friends. I just appreciate you coming on through, hanging out with me, and I hope that you come on back and hang out with me again tomorrow. In order to do so, you need to keep yourself safe out there. Wash your hands, but also take some time out and do something that you personally enjoy today. Maybe like, I don't know, watching some more ReddX videos. That'd be cool. Always remember, friends, that you are loved, you are worthy, and you definitely deserve it. I shall see you in the next one, and until then, bye-bye.